सारेगामा कारवा डिजिटल ऑडियो.
Good morning, all of you. How are you all? So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are in the 11th one-shot revision video for costing for CMA, CA Inter, all the upcoming exams. Great, isn't it? My commitment, your commitment, all put together. Yes. Is the volume and all clear? Those who are live right now can comment and tell me. Yeah, I have muted it here. Chat box is on. You can ask any doubts you have in the chat box, definitely. Okay, right. Chapter-wise test series with the professional good level of the exam paper, the suggested answers, and then the live paper discussion is going on one set. Another set for the DT, IDT and costing for the December and January exam is starting now. Thank you so much, dear students, and God bless you all. That again I got little delayed and you all are waiting for me. Really sorry, because I myself don't like to wait. But the only problem is I miss out that over dusting is done with the camera and lights, and I need to set it before I start the class. Anyhow, so one more set is starting on 2nd of September onwards. Live batch with Dipti ma'am. Meet the teacher every day. Practice with me. Write the concept. Write the chapter-wise exam. So another set of timetable will start from 2nd of October. This September students are already writing the exam. This will be over in 10th of September and another set will start. Thank you so much, all of you. Now you know that every lecture of mine, every doubt clearing class, everything is live in YouTube. So if you subscribe, you will get notification of latest study tips, doubt clearing session, live session, which is upcoming, right? Okay. Today's topic is very easy, very close to my heart. And I can say in Hindi, it is called as Taranhar, something will help you to fetch very good marks in the exam, and that is marginal costing. Ma'am, what is the weightage of marginal costing? Then bare minimum 15 marks. Yes, you heard it correct. Ma'am, out of 100 marks? No. With choice, you might leave, but question number one question comes on marginal costing. MCQs come, case studies will come, and theory question, distinguish between marginal and absorption costing. That also comes, right? So, and one thing added on, thank you so much. It was your suggestion, dear students, and I have implemented is every one-shot revision video is having theory also. Literally, like, ऐसे flow चल रहा है. Others are asking, let me also ask. Dipti ma'am, do you have a PDF wherein all the theories there I will study? नहीं होता. You have to study some concept, some theory of labor together. Yesterday, which chapter we did? Process costing. So some theory, some concept, you have to do it together, right? So this is how the session is going to go for marginal costing. And it is super duper important, easy questions. I have not said this for all the topics, but for sure, marginal costing is very easy, very scoring. Don't leave it in choice. If you feel you want to leave in choice, leave activity based costing in exam because it is time consuming. Process करके जाओ statement of equivalent units, but sometimes if they ask too lengthy question, you can leave in choice. Process costing का बड़ा वाला question. Yeah, but marginal costing, no ways you should leave in choice. Let me tell you why. Because the question are, okay, existing situation, calculate the PV ratio, break even point. Okay, if I change selling price, how will it change? If I change this, how will it change? What will be the profit if you decide the turnover? What will be the turnover if I want to earn a desired profit of? So like this one bit stepwise marks are there. So this chapter is easy, scoring, and asked more than all the other. All the types of costing are 5 to 10 marks, but this is for 15 marks. Clear? So shall we start? I have divided this one shot revision video in two parts. Theory will, go around. बीच में theory question करेंगे. There are two types of question. One is apply the formula and solve the question. That's what I'm starting now. Second thing is reconciliation. The profit as per the absorption costing is different because you absorb the factory overhead at a fixed rate and all. And the profit as per marginal costing is different. So you'll have to reconcile the both the profit. Okay, right. Any doubts you have, you can ask. Blue color are colored compiler upcoming. Just by another week, you will get it. The hard copy if you wish to order in the app also. So blue color is all the problems, green color is all the theory, and red color are the beautiful booster notes which you should repeatedly revise to get 85 plus marks in costing. I'm definitely taking care of CA CMA syllabus. And yeah, one more thing beta, agar मैं फिर भूल जाऊं तो at the end of every chapter, like the concepts, question, answers, theory, and at the end I have given the, what do you call it, the booster notes. Sorry, उसकी booster notes के बाद last में, yeah, past exam questions. So if you all have attended budgeting yesterday, there were only 2 past exam questions. But if you check marginal costing, at least 7 to 8 exam questions I have added, which you practice in writing. You don't have to opt for any other book. This 350-page compiler is more than enough for you. Okay. Now, no two sets, one set only. All past exam questions also I have put it here only at the end. And humble request that after my one-shot revision of marginal costing, please practice the past exam question, answers, steps, everything is there. And still, if you have any doubt, I'm always saying, click the picture, send it in WhatsApp. And then in 24 hours, if your doubt is not clear, please don't mind. Just remind me, Dipti ma'am, can you please check my doubt? I'll surely check. ठीक है बेटा? चलो आ जाओ. Marginal costing हम कर रहे हैं. Very nice it is. Superb level of the past exam questions I have picked up. I'm always saying the more quality good problems you practice, the more it will be clear to you. चलो आ जाओ, शुरू करते हैं. I also did one doubt clearing yesterday for taxation for marginal relief. Same I'm going to do for semi-variable overhead immediately after this video. So stay connected, please, all of you. Yeah. What do you mean by the concept? Acha, how many of you are writing FM? Any FM students here? Comment below. Any students who are writing financial management group 2? I know for CA, to FM and SM is connected. Earlier, it used to be costing and FM. Then whenever you do marginal costing, make sure you write over there, refer leverages topic. There's a topic in FM called as leverages. You can refer that. Aja. What do you mean by marginal cost? Marginal cost is nothing but increase in cost when the activity is increasing. Ma'am, same thing you covered yesterday at 65%. This was it. If I decide to work at 85%, what will happen? My variable cost will increase, my fixed cost will be same, and semi variable overhead में भी जो variable cost है that will increase. So just if I produce one more extra unit, yeah, instead of 10, if I decide to produce 11 units, then variable cost per unit will increase. Fixed cost will be constant. Okay, right. Sales minus the variable cost is contribution. Yeah, very important baseline knowledge for this chapter is, dear students, that we should be able to segregate all the overhead and all the cost into the fixed and the variable. And we should know that fixed cost is constant in total. variable cost is constant per unit. You remember yesterday in budgeting also I have solved one question combined with marginal costing. So whenever they say prepare marginal costing statement, start with sales minus variable cost. You get the contribution which is contributing towards the fixed cost, and then you get the profit. Okay, right. So first thing is, what is the contribution? Contribution is sales minus variable cost is contribution. Suppose in exam they say कि variable cost is 60% of the sales, means contribution will be how much? 40%. I know some of the students they expect, ma'am one shot शुरू हो गया तो आप question answer कराओगे ना? नहीं, that is called as practice batch. One shot revision video, I will go as slow as my regular batch to explain you the concept, to make you alert of the pitfalls. Now, if you want to practice 10 on 10 problems with me, it's practice batch, which is there in Concept Classes app. So sales minus the variable cost is giving you contribution. I hope you are getting. If variable cost ratio is 60%, contribution ratio, or it is also called as PV ratio, profit volume ratio. In Broadway, you know, how do we call it? GP and NP. So contribution is the broad profit to cover up your fixed cost, right? Contribution is equal to sales minus the variable cost is contribution. Higher the contribution, more wider the profit of the company. Next is PV ratio. PV ratio is nothing but, like here we have 40%. Contribution by sales into 100. Either contribution or selling price per unit you can take, or total contribution by total sales. See, they go hand in hand. According to number of units sold, your sales, variable cost, contribution will change in the same line. Yeah. So you can get PV ratio by contribution per unit by sales per unit, or total contribution by total sales. ठीक है? Another formula used for PV ratio and very important for 5 marks question is, ये बुक आपके पास है तो इसको स्टार मार्क करो, इसको 5 स्टार, किटकैट सब खिलाओ. Change in contribution or change in profit by change in sales. See, whenever profit is changing because of the change in sales, it's only because of the variable element, right? So that's what is PV ratio. Change in contribution by sales or change in profit by sales. PV ratio is also equal to 100 minus the variable cost ratio. A variable cost ratio is 60%, PV ratio is 40%. PV ratios ka significance. Sometimes theory questions are asked, or very beautiful one-liners are also asked in MCQ. Ki if this increases, what's the impact? For that, I'm teaching you this. Write down for MCQs. आराम से पढ़ो एक एक line. PV ratio is the basic indicator of the profit. Higher the PV ratio, better. In case of firm enjoying steady business, PV ratio will be high. You know, some businesses, you know, around us, if we see, costing is always around us. We say this business is going on क्योंकि इनकी margin इतनी है. Many business work on low margin, high volume. Some business like boutiques and all, they work on high margin, low volume. They don't have much customers, but from one customer, they get good profit. Yeah. So now what is the formula? Sales minus the variable cost. See, this knowledge is still beautiful. Sale minus the variable cost is the PV ratio. Higher the PV ratio, it's like wider the mouth, better. You know why I'm saying like that? देखो, अगर आपका PV ratio मतलब आपका contribution 40,000 है and your fixed cost is 2,000, oh, you are going to make 38,000 profit. But suppose if your contribution is 5,000 and your fixed cost is 2,000, just 3,000 profit. So fixed cost is something which is constant. Correct or not? So fixed cost is constant. So higher the contribution, higher will be the profit margin. You know, it will go like this because fixed cost is constant. So jaise sale badega, the profit will also grow. Yeah. Right. Now, PV ratio can be improved. See, look at this equation. In exam, they will ask so many MCQs based on this knowledge. You want to increase the PV ratio, reduce the variable cost. 10 minus 7 is 3. Ma'am, instead of 3, I want 4 profit. Oh, then reduce your variable cost. Or you want 4 profit, same variable cost, then increase your selling price. Profit बढ़ाना है, you want to increase your profit, increase the selling price. Ma'am, but it's competitive world. If the people are coming to buy mobile phone in my store, they check the price online. I can't increase the selling price. Then reduce the cost. That's why so much of cost cutting, cost deterioration, lower quality we get in so many products, right? And if you're making 2-3 products, can we produce more of the product which is having high PV ratio? Clear to all of you? Right. Uses of the PV ratio: to know the variable cost, to know the profitability, to decide the break even point, which we will do now, to decide the most profitable mix. I have 2-3 products. Definitely my fixed cost is constant. So I'll produce only that product which is going to give me highest of sales, highest of profit. Is my speed fine? Are you all following what I'm saying? Now comes this topic of costing, a layman also knows. Yeah. You go to a Xerox wala, he will say per page I take 60 paise for printing per page, one side. You say I want 100 copies. Can you make it 30 paise? 60 will be very costly. He say, nahi madam, nahi parvadta. I've told you something in Hindi. And again he'll say, no ma'am, I won't be able to do in 30 paisa. How is he saying? Because he knows the paper cost is 30 paisa. My machine cost is 10 paisa. My electricity is 10 paisa, 50 paisa. And at least 10 paisa per paper if I am not earning profit. I am not doing charity. Shutter band karo, ghar jao. So, Xerox wala has not studied marginal costing from Dipti ma'am. But he knows ki what is my break even. Every retail business, every business knows that moment I open the store from morning to night, if I do 50,000 turnover, 20% is my margin, 10,000. And my everyday cost of staff, tea, coffee, rent, blah, blah is 10,000. So minimum 50,000 business I should do. Seasonal business, 5 lakh, great. Some days, shall I open the shop or not? If I open, I'll do 10,000 business. Don't open because 10,000 is your expenditure. If you open the shop and do only 10,000 business, you have to give tea, coffee to your staff. All the showroom lights should be on. The expenditure will only better. Let's close. See, this is marginal costing going on around us. And that's the beautiful way they ask questions in the exam. Now what we are doing is break even point. BEP. Break even point is that level of sales wherein your variable and fixed cost is covered and profit is nil. Neither you are into loss nor you are into profit. Then whatever sales you do above the break even point, actual sales and the break even sales, the difference is called as margin of safety. This is where you earn profit. Okay. So the coming two formulas are linked knowledge. Check with me, check from this book. All formulas are written. Break even point is that level of sales where there is neither profit nor loss. Okay. So break even point in rupees, fixed cost by PV ratio. Can I say at break even point contribution is equal to fixed cost? ये सब अभी prove हो जाएगा. Suppose my sales is 10,000. My variable cost is 6,000. My contribution is 4,000. But jitna contribution आ रहा है, it's going for my covering my fixed cost. That is 1 second, dear students. Yeah. It's going to cover up my profit, that is my fixed cost. And what is the profit or loss? Nil. Are you getting what is break-even sales? Break-even sales is that level of the sales where contribution and fixed cost are same. What is your contribution or the PV ratio here? 1 second. Huh? Screen got stuck up. 1 minute, beta. Yeah. Okay. See. Fixed cost is equal to contribution. What is my PV ratio here? 40%. What is my contribution or 6,000? Contribution or fixed cost? Same. 4,000. What is my PV ratio? 40%. देखो 40,000 into 100 divided by 40. Hmm. 10,000. Is it coming correctly? Break-even point is fixed cost 4,000 divided by PV ratio. What is PV ratio? Contribution by sales 40%. So you're exactly getting 10,000 sales. Break-even point can also be calculated in quantity or units. That is fixed cost. Fixed cost कितना है आपका? 4,000. Divide by contribution per unit. Say 100 units are there. So what will be the contribution per unit? 40. So 100 units. If I sell 100 units, neither I will earn profit nor there will be loss. All clear to all of you, right? Now, ma'am, what if my actual sales? I'm in the same problem. I'm explaining the next one. If my actual sales is 50,000, actual sales, huh? I'm solving as good as problems also will this. What will be my variable cost? 60%. 30,000. What will be my contribution? 20,000. What will be my fixed cost? Same. What will be profit? 16,000. Ma'am, if my actual sales are more, the difference between the actual sales and the break-even sales. This is the break-even point. This different sales is called as margin of safety, 40,000. Till break-even point, there is no profit. But now you have made a profit of 16,000. So can I say whatever sales you make above the break-even point, that's called margin of safety sales. In that only you are earning a profit of 16,000. So what is the formula? I hope this data is very clear. हाँ? आपको learn करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी formula if you understand this. Now what is the formula for break-even point? Fixed cost by PV ratio. And you know what's the formula for margin of safety? Fixed cost, sorry, not fixed cost, sorry. Profit by PV ratio. Do I know what is the profit? 16,000. And what is the PV ratio? 40%. देखो 16,000 divide by 40 into 100. PV ratio आपका कितना है? Profit is 16,000. 40,000. Are you getting what I am doing? I am solving a 5 marks problem. Take your time. Break-even point is fixed cost by PV ratio. No profit, no loss. Margin of safety is profit by PV ratio. So profit is 16,000 and PV ratio is 40%, margin of safety. Can I also twist this as profit is equal to margin of safety into PV ratio. कितना एडिशनल सेल्स किया है 10 और 50, तो एडिशनल सेल्स कितना है 40, in that 40% profit 16,000. See, the dialogue says till 10,000 no profit. How much additional sales you will make? 40,000. In that 40% profit you will earn. I really want some messages. मैं बहुत लिंक करके पढ़ा रही हूँ. 2 minutes I'll be back. आप देखो कोई डाउट है तो ask. Thank you for waiting. Put me a message, all clear or still confused. What is break-even point? Fixed. You'll really do FM also very well, beta, अगर ये समझ में आ गया. Whether it is regular class or it is practice batch or it is one shot, concept will go very slow. आ जाओ. Yeah, there are some things in break-even point, but मैं साथ में margin of safety I have covered. It represents the difference of sales over the break-even point. Yeah, margin of safety is total sales minus the break-even sales or profit by PV ratio. और per unit करना है तो profit by contribution per unit. Same way. इसी के साथ में लिख लो break-even point is fixed cost by PV ratio. And break-even point per unit करना है तो fixed cost by contribution per unit. Up to break-even point, you can cover only your fixed costs. Profit is nothing but the contribution earned on margin of safety sales. Higher the margin of safety, higher will be the profit. Array, till this level of sales, you are not doing any profit. Beyond that, whatever you are earning is your profit, whatever sales you are doing. How you can improve the margin of safety, increase the selling price, reduce the fixed or variable cost, increase the volume of sales of that product which is having high profit. Yeah, right. So that's margin of safety. Coming back to break-even point, fixed cost by PV ratio. There are certain assumptions for the break-even point. Yeah. First assumption only, which is practically sometimes very difficult. You can segregate all your cost into fixed and variable. If that is not possible, bhul jao. है ना? Right. Selling price is constant, variable cost is constant, fixed cost is constant. But in practical world, we know that if you sell above a limit, even the fixed cost changes. Huh? 4 worker के साथ काम कर रहे, but if you want to double your turnover, your salary, your rent, your depreciation, fixed expenses might change. State of technology and all is same, and all many things are given. Yeah. If your sales is less than break-even point, it's in loss. At break-even point, no profit, no loss. Greater than break-even point, we are making profit. Yeah. Diagram and routine class I make you draw. You all have it in your material. See this side, the cost. Sorry, this side you can take number of units. This side you can take cost and sales and all. So irrespective of the number of units sold, fixed cost is constant. Variable cost will start from 0. Not from here, 0. 0 sales hoga to 0 variable cost. More units sold, more. Total cost will start from here. Ma'am, why here? Because even if your sales is 0, the sunk cost, the fixed cost is going to be incurred. Yeah. And sales line is here. So where the sale and total cost intersect, that point is called as break-even point. Break-even point के बाद ये जो gap है ना, that's all profit. This is all loss. The wider this angle, you know, where the line intersect, this is sales, this is total cost. जहाँ पे line cross होती है ना, the wider this gap, the better. This is called as angle of incidence. Ma'am, sometimes in exam they are also asking cash break-even point. What is break-even point? fixed cost by contribution. But in fixed cost, we also take like depreciation, which is non-cash. No money goes out of your pocket. Like that, break-even point is calculated only with those fixed costs which are payable in cash. Such a break-even point is known as cash break-even point. So from the fixed cost, remove the non-cash expenditure like goodwill written off, depreciation and all that. You will get the cash break-even point. Many times in theory question they are asking you, write a short note on angle of incidence. This is angle of incidence. The wider the gap between the sale and the total cost, yeah, angle is formed by intersection of sales line and total cost. Where this gap increases, it's profit. Margin of safety, I hope is clear. Yeah, this I will clarify in solving the problem also, but very beautiful. इंटर लेवल पे कभी पूछते हैं. अच्छा, let me tell you dear students, same marginal costing is there in final, same standard costing is there in the SCM in final. So if you are doing costing perfectly, you are helping yourself to build a base for 8 subject of final. Ma'am, पहले इंटर तो clear होने दो. Yeah, you have to aim high. Your aim is, your why is clear to get the degree for that 8 subjects of the final. Yeah, CA final 6, CMA final 8. For that this. मैं क्यों बोल रही हूँ? Because same marginal costing is asked in final with decision factor. Now let me clear for all of you what is limiting factor. We know, ma'am, sales minus variable cost is contribution. If there are 2-3 products, whoever's contribution is high, we will produce that more. Because company will earn more profit, fixed cost to anyhow is constant. Sometimes there are limiting factors like labor is available only 12,000 hours or sales mix 8 is to 2 is to 1. In budgeting yesterday, I have done this sales mix wala problem. I'll again revise here also. Budgeting and marginal costing comes combined many times. So what I want to say is, if the limiting factor is there, you have to multiply the contribution with the limiting factor, be it raw material in kg is limited or labor is limited, and then according to that, you have to take a decision. Just understand this limiting factor. I'll solve past exam very good problems to clear all your doubts. Ajo. Yeah, this point you all are realizing now. I'm saying repeatedly ki stepwise marks are there in marginal costing. That makes it very smooth. Key factor or limiting factor. Yeah, raw material may be limited, labor and like available cash and all. So compute the contribution, multiply the contribution with the raw material or the labor, जो भी limiting factor है, and then rank the product based on the contribution. All of you are here and very clear this is? Yeah, right. Okay. What are the advantages? ये भी साथों साथ ही कर लेंगे. What's the benefit of marginal costing? See, once you know my selling price is 100, my variable cost is 70, my contribution is 30, my fixed cost per unit is 10, and I am making a profit of 20. Are you getting right? Now, if someone is saying, ma'am, we'll give you bulk order. Instead of selling price 100, can you make the selling price 70? We will give you bulk order. So I will decide. 70 rupees में अगर मैं बेचूं तो मेरा variable cost ही cover होगा. Fixed cost will not be covered. And I will not earn a single penny. Will I accept the offer? No. So marginal costing helps in decision making. See, let me tell you, dear students, I'm again saying this much I have not talked in any other one-shot revision video. Right now, this is the Shravan is over and Ashar Mas month, I mean, so the month which we are going now, lot of sale are there. You know, some of the sale companies are putting up genuine sale. For example, I'll give an example of West Side. It is having few days wherein first day of the sale 80% off, then 70, then 60. Are they actually doing charity? No. But 100 rupees item they were selling for 200. Now it's the festival time, Rakhi and Dashera and Diwali. Before that, clearance sale. What they do, 100 rupees item they were selling in 200. Now in 200, straight say 40% discount, 80 rupees. So 120 may, if they are able to remove last year's stock, they can refill new stock, and new stock, new profits, and the rotation will go on. You go to some showrooms, okay, koi bhi le lo, Woodlands, Puma and all, 50% off. When you go inside, they'll say, oh, on this counter you have genuine 50% flat off. That is last year's stock. It's not damaged, but it is an old design. You want to buy new design, fresh rate. Old design is okay. Last year, same design was available for 1500 pair of shoes. Now they are giving in 1000. Go for it. Benefit for the company also. This is marginal costing. See, sometimes they say anyhow fixed cost is sunk cost. वो तो लग चुका है. So whatever we earn above the variable cost, that is profit. But the disadvantage is also there. Huh? Every decision cannot be say my variable cost is covered. No, 70 rupees, 80 में बेच दो. अरे who will cover the fixed cost? There are so many sunk costs: the rent, the advertisement, the salary, GST return payment. ऐसे बहुत सारे cost हैं, right? The more you understand this way, I know. Are you all enjoying, or you're feeling I'm going very slow, not looking like routine one-shot revision? These examples, if they click, you'll be able to write the theory question and get 5 out of. Ma'am's told marginal costing is very helpful in decision making. You go now and anywhere, if you see sale, just analyze what must be the mindset behind this. Why do we say, see, suppose Reliance is very good in the communication, networking. Yeah, I mean, say, jo bhi unke phone ka connection and all. But when they want to launch this also now, Wi-Fi, Reliance broadband, obviously they'll give offers, no? Huh? So that all works on these decisions. So advantages of marginal costing is it helps in pricing decisions. Yeah, overheads, under over recovery and all, that question will not come because you're taking, it will give you the true profit. Fixed cost is anyway some. Break even analysis, so that anytime you know, okay, are you ready to take the benefit of this offer or not? It helps to control the expenditure, decision making, and short term planning, not long term. Limitation of marginal costing, very important. Your answer sheet should start. It's very, very difficult, don't you think? Practically, how do we write expenditure? I'm just putting my charges, so I have get up. Continue reading. क्या क्या है सबसे बड़ा limitation? Practical world. It is so difficult to bifurcate the expenditure into fixed and variable. Am I right? Salary fixed, yay, variable, yay. It's not always that easy to classify all the expense. And if you are not classifying, then how will you do sales minus variable cost contribution? है ना? Contribution is not the final answer. Ma'am, जिसका contribution ज़्यादा है, produce that. अरे, but to produce that, labor is a limitation. Place is a limitation. Sometimes you may take a wrong decision. And marginal costing takes the stock also only at the variable cost, which is wrong. You have to take the stock at the total cost. Name assumptions. We have seen variable cost is constant per unit, fixed cost. Let me tell you, if you want to extend your business, fixed cost is not constant. Yeah. It ignores the time value. Okay, so these are the assumptions. Cost, volume, profit analysis is what pros and cons we do. Abhi, I'll work out one problem. Okay, if I increase the selling price, what will be the impact on PV ratio? Oh, if the fixed cost is increased, what's the impact on the... So once you have the data, like a Rubik खेलते हैं आप लोग सब, green color, orange color. So like a Rubik, can you twist and turn? Yeah, I am telling you 100% loud and clear. You get beautiful stepwise marks in marginal costing. But one answer is over, put it in block. सेकेंड आंसर, थोड़ा अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन करना, नॉट लेंदी बट गुड प्रेजेंटेशन, ठीक है, राइट. Cost volume profit analysis is nothing but playing around the cost, the volume, the profit, and checking in different situations. Okay, right. If your volume increases, what will be the break-even point and all. Done? Right. Ma'am, again that semi-variable overhead we have done in overhead chapter, we have done in cost sheet, we have done in budgeting. Then ma'am, why here? Because it is very important. जो बेस्ट फ्रेंड है इसको क्लोज के हार्ट रखते हैं ना, 5 star, Kit Kat. See, if the base goes wrong, the whole chapter goes wrong. So some of the students are like, ma'am, this is like a mantra. Every chapter is starting with this problem. Then yes, please, it's very important. Following information is available. At 36,000 units, your semi-variable overhead is 280. And at 42,000 units, it is 3,10,000. Yeah. Segregate the semi-variable cost. You all know in semi-variable cost, there is variable cost, also fixed cost. Fixed cost is constant in total. So if there is a change in the units, the change in the cost is only because of the variable element. Change in the production. What is change in production? 36 and 42. तो कितना change हुआ? 6,000. And change in the cost, 280 and 310, 30,000. See, whenever number of units are changing and the cost is changing, the change in the cost due to change in units is only because of the variable element, that is 5 per unit. Got it? And now, rather than ये नीचे सब calculation है, can I make a table here? See, I'm going to, how I'm using the data. Someone watching the recording, so many of you are live, thank you so much for that. But if you're watching as recording, pin this, that at this much time Dipti ma'am has explained how to segregate semi-variable overhead into fixed and variable. Other students will thank you for this. Okay, now 36,000, what's the variable cost per unit? 5 per unit. So 36,000 into 5, 1,80,000. What is the fixed cost? 1 lakh. 42,000 into 5, 2,10,000. What is the fixed cost? 1 lakh. Ma'am, if in the quarter 3, if I decide to produce 50,000, what will be my semi-variable overhead? अभी कर लेते हैं. 50,000 into 5, 2,50,000 will be this. 1 lakh will be this. Your semi-variable overhead will be 3,50,000. This deserves a bang and a clap for me to explain, for you to understand. Bolo. Ma'am, marginal costing kidhar hai? Arey aayega. It's just 30 minutes we have started the one-shot revision. And do remind me if I forget ki ma'am, you said you will take some past exam questions. And if you want to practice all this, then order this compiler or go for the practice batch in the app. App ka description, Telegram, all description is there in the description of this video. Thank you that it is all clear. Why only very few of you are answering? Others, please share this video with as many students as you feel they should go fearless and score super. One dialogue I want to say and then I'll continue. This time's costing paper was very tough. But there was something very easy like marginal costing which will help you to get at least 50 marks. And if it is easy, 85 marks exemption, hai na? So don't leave the hope. Super duper confidence के साथ exam लिखना है. आ जाओ. See, that's what I've done now. Same kind of question is there. Yeah. Chalo. I'm checking some questions now. I'm not going to solve it. Solve करने जाएंगे तो बहुत time लगेगा. तो just check कर लेते हैं कि अगर ये है तो ये है. Ma'am, can we make statement? Yeah, very important, dear students. If they give you data like this, you can calculate the formula and get the answer. And time है तो statement बनाओ. Statement भी बनाओ. ये भी double मत करो. Because you have to complete the paper in 3 hours. Okay? Right. The company's fixed cost is 90,000, sales is 3 lakh, profit is 90. To reverse, you can calculate. What will be the sales in the next year if the company suffers a loss of 30,000? Yeah. So, acha, that desired profit and desired sales formula we should add. Desired sales and desired profit formula. I'll tell you what it is. Here they go. First of all, what is the PV ratio? Contribution by sales into 100, 60%. Now, your fixed cost is 90,000. And if there is a loss, means minus, and PV ratio is 60%, what will be the sales? 1 lakh. करके देख लो, अगर sales 1 lakh है, तो आपका sale 1 lakh है, and 40% is your variable cost ratio, 40,000. Contribution is 60. Fixed cost is 90. And there's a loss of 30. Magic, man. You know, there are no other chapters where you can confidently say, कि ma'am, our answer is correct or not, we don't know. इधर तो दिख क्या आ रहा है? Now, what will be the margin of safety for a profit of 90,000? So for a profit of 90,000, margin of safety is profit by PV ratio. This I want कि कोई नींद में से उठाए तो बोलना है. Break even point is fixed cost by PV ratio. Margin of safety is profit by PV ratio. And why so? Whatever you are selling above the break even point, in that only you are earning the profit. Over and out. How is the problem for 5 marks? All clear? Margin of safety is profit by PV ratio. Many students say, ma'am, instead of A, I used B formula, but my answer is correct. Okay, but then you write it. Don't calculate everything in calculator and give. Clear? आ जाओ. This same question we have done in the joint product and byproduct also, but I still want to check here. Company sells 2 products and there's a sales mix. So sales mix you can write here as limiting factor. This is the key factor or the limiting factor. Contribution is 40 and 20. Fixed cost total दिया है 6,16,000. Compute the break-even point of the organization as a whole. Ma'am, break-even point is fixed cost by contribution per unit. But पता तो चले ना कि कैसे निकालना है इसको. Now, you can't go with this 40 and 20 contribution. Because if here you are selling 4 units, here you are selling 3 units. So 40 into 4, 160. 20 into 3, 60. Clear to all of you? Yeah. So whenever sales mix is there, you can multiply, and sometimes what they are doing, they are also doing like 40 into 4 by 7, 4:3. पर वो decimals में आएगा तो नहीं करना है, जरूरत नहीं है. Okay. Now, can we segregate the fixed cost to both the product in the ratio of not contribution, but contribution multiplied by sales mix? Yeah. Into 160 divided by 240. देखो 6,16,000 into 160 divided by 240. Yes, Ajay, you have any doubt? I'm checking your message. 6,16,000 into 160 divided by 220. See, now you got the fixed cost. Now, can you get the break-even point is fixed cost by contribution per unit. See, at break-even point, fixed cost and contribution are same. Fixed cost and contribution are same. Are you all with me? Fixed cost and contribution are same. So 4,48,000 is the fixed cost, or otherwise you can call total contribution, and contribution per unit, you will get the break-even point. Star mark this problem, solve in writing. It's very, very important. ठीक है, अब ये रूटीन वाला प्रॉब्लम है. अगर ये चेंज करूं तो क्या होगा, वो चेंज करूं तो क्या होगा. लेट अस चेक इट. 7th problem. Company is producing a single product and selling it at 20. Marginal or variable cost is 12 and contribution is 8. Fixed cost is 9,000 per quarter. So for year it is 36,000. You are required to calculate PV ratio. PV ratio is contribution 8 by sales 20 into 100. PV ratio is contribution by sales into 100. Next, they have asked is break-even point. Fixed cost by PV ratio. 36,000 by PV ratio. 90,000 rupees में आया है. 90,000 divided by 20. Selling price 4,500. Break-even point, whenever they ask you to calculate, calculate in rupees also and calculate in quantity also. Yeah, 36,000 divided by 8. Nice, clear to all of you. 4,500. Fixed cost by contribution per unit या break even point in rupees divide by selling price तो भी same आएगा. ठीक है. Next they have asked you required sales to earn a profit of 12,000. You want to earn a profit of 12,000, desired profit, fixed cost, PV ratio, this इतना सेल कर. 12,000 कमाना है, 36 कॉस्ट भी कवर करना है at this percentage, then sales 1,20,000. Profit. So desired sales at a profit. Now what will the profit at the sales 2 lakh? अगर sales 2 lakh है तो 2 lakh का 40% is your contribution. Fixed cost is fixed. So what is the profit? Profit at a sales of 2 lakh. 2 lakh ka 40% is the contribution. That's 80,000. Fixed cost kitna hai? Yeah, it's missing here. There's a typing mistake. I'll do the correction. 36,000. Fixed cost is 36,000. Yeah. So what's the profit? Profit will be 44,000. ठीक है? Right. आ जाओ. Now margin of safety. So you know break even sales. Break even point आपने calculate किया था ना? 90,000. पर अगर आपको 120 सेल करना है या 2 लाख सेल करना है तो मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी इज एक्चुअल सेल्स माइनस द ब्रेक इवन सेल्स. ओके. नाउ दिस वाज वेरी सिंपल. नेक्स्ट आई विल कम टू द क्वेश्चन. देन दे विल से अगर सेलिंग प्राइस 10% से बढ़ा दिया, 22 कर दिया, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट 12, so what is the contribution? 10. Now again calculate the B. If they'll say selling price is 20, Variable cost is 12. Contribution is 80. If fixed cost changes from 36, so ifs and buts करके they will ask you कि just calculate करके बताओ आपकी कैसे what will be the impact. So we should know this. This question is asked so many times because here we use different formula for PV ratio. What is normal formula for PV ratio? Contribution by sales into 100. So here company is selling at 15. In a period it produces and sell 8,000 units and incurs a loss of 5. देखो 8,000 यूनिट अगर सेल कर रहे हैं तो लॉस हो रहा है 5 पर यूनिट मतलब 40,000. And if they are selling 20,000 units, they are earning a profit of 80,000. Are you getting the data? Agar if you are selling 8,000 units, there's a loss. If you're selling 20,000 units, there's a profit. Right? Clear to all of you? So now they have asked you to calculate break-even point. Ma'am, for break-even point, we want fixed cost by PV ratio. Fixed cost is not given. PV ratio I can't calculate because contribution is not there. But one more formula is there for the PV ratio. Change in profit by change in sales. Go back and check. Change in profit. So what's the change in profit? 40,000 loss is turning to 80,000 profit. So there's a change of 1,20,000 in the profit. What's the change in sales? Here 8,000 into 15. Karo. 8,000 units are sold at 15. 1,20,000. Here 20,000 units are sold at 15. 3 lakh. Change in profit by change in sales into 100 is PV ratio, which is nothing but 66.67 or 2/3. Clear to all of you? Excuse me. So you got break-even point in rupees. पहले PV ratio आ गया. Break-even point is fixed cost by PV ratio. So once you get the break-even point, can you make a statement first? ये देखो. What is the sales here? 3 lakh. Now PV ratio is 2/3. So can we say variable cost ratio is 1/3? PV ratio is 2/3. Variable cost ratio is 1/3. Okay. And you know the profit is 80,000. So you can get by completing the statement fixed cost as balancing figure. Now you can calculate break-even point. Fixed cost by PV ratio. Take your time. 2 minutes, I'll be back. No break. We are completing this. अभी reconciliation भी बताना है. ठीक है चलो. Just 2 minutes break quick and come back. Yeah, you can also take 2 minutes. Yes, are you all back? Chalo, let's just revise the formulas. We are, of course, doing more problems. It's like marathon. Chale ja rahe, chale ja rahe. As many problems as you do for marginal costing, it's less. But one of the scoring topic and in exam, automatically you'll get good speed if you practice now in writing. ये टिक टिक करके नहीं करना है. This is a one shot revision video. If you feel these problems you want to practice with me, then join the practice batch. आ जाओ फिर से एक बार. What will be the formula for the PV ratio? Contribution by sales into 100. Break even point, fixed cost by PV ratio. Same margin of safety, profit by PV ratio. Once you know these formulas, you can twist, turn, and use. Sometimes PV ratio is also calculated as change in the profit because of change in sales. So from loss, if you are going to profit, that's the change in the profit by change in sales. Clear to all of you? Chalo, aa jao. Some more problems we'll check. We'll do the reconciliation part also. This is already a past exam question, nothing to explain, but they have asked this for 10 marks, like a bit, here you know the fixed cost, you know the contribution, so you know the, say upar niche jaake you can complete the whole statement. Very nice level of problems I have given after the this reconciliation part. Okay, right. So just to break up that monotony, let us take up the reconciliation part 10 minutes more quickly and then we will go. और एक काम करते हैं, पहले कुछ और problems देख लेते हैं. We will check up some more problems and then I'll come to the reconciliation from the past exam. See, this is though long back, but acha question hai. Company has 2 lakh units. Variable cost is 16. Fixed cost is 4 per unit. And for 2 lakh units, it's 8. Company's selling price is fetching a profit of 20% on total cost. So variable cost is 16 and fixed cost is 4. So total cost is 20 and profit is 20% on the total cost. So 20 ke upar 20% 4. So selling price will be 24. Are you able to get what I'm doing? Now, if selling price is 24, variable cost is 16, your contribution is 8. And you can get the break-even point. Fixed cost by the contribution per unit. Or break-even point in rupees is 1 lakh units into 24, or you can also do fixed cost by PV ratio. What is fixed cost? 8 lakh. What is the PV ratio? PV ratio आपने calculate किया था ना, contribution 30%, 8 by sales into 100. Contribution 8 by sales into 100. 33.33%. So 8 lakhs, that's coming to 24 lakhs. समझ में आ रहा है? You can get it. Now, present PV ratio is 33.33. Now, what did they say? Revised break-even sales and revised PV ratio. Yay, same thing you have to revise and calculate if selling price is reduced by 10%. So instead of 24, selling price is 21.6. Variable cost is same. तो ये same आ जाएगा. Contribution by sales into 100. Fixed cost. So just one twist, and can you get the answer? Now, what would be the revised sales and amount if the company desires a profit increase by 20%? Right now, what is the profit? Profit कितना है अभी? 8 lakhs, right? Okay. Now that profit, if you want to increase by 120%, 960. How did you get the present profit as 8 lakhs? ये रहा आपको. 2 lakh units are sold. Yeah, please listen now. You know that the profit is 8 lakhs. So they have said that increase the profit by 20% and selling price is reduced. So it's 21.6 selling price. But profit is increased to 960. Fixed cost to fixed hai 8 lakh. So you want the desired contribution to be 1760. And what's contribution per unit? Selling price is 21.6 and you want the variable cost is already 16. So 16 and 21, 5.60. So if you calculate like this is going to be, if you want to earn a profit of 9,60,000, 20% more, then you have to sell 3,14,000 units at 20.6. Clear है आपको? Okay, right. Now, so like this, what was the special in this problem? They have asked it for 10 marks. Existing situation, just calculate, and if it changes also calculate. Like this, different choices you have to make, which is good and not according to the limiting factor. वो question सब same ही है. Change in profit by change in sales अभी जो मैंने आपको कराया. Calculate the break-even point, margin of safety, the profit, the sales. Is it clear? Profit made when sales is 100. तो अगर आपका जो sales है fixed cost plus the desired profit by PV ratio or desired sales, same formula you will use to get the answer. ठीक है? This is a very nice problem on limiting factor, 19th one. चलो check करते हैं इसको. Yeah. 19th problem. An agricultural company is based having 210 hectares of land. So what's the limiting factor this time? The land. To grow different wheat, rice and maize. Okay. Yield is given, selling price is given, variable cost, labor, packing, other, these are all variable costs. Company has a policy to produce all the 3 crops. Maximum area. Minimum तो करना ही है सबका. See, but minimum hectare if you do wheat and rice and maize, it's coming to 160. But you have a capacity of 210. So 50 hectares more you have free. You will allot the 50 factors to that product which is having high contribution. तो उसके लिए simply selling price यहाँ से ले लो, variable cost इसका total कर दो. 8 labor है 2, 10 and 4, 14, 13, 150. Sale minus variable cost. Contribution. Yield per hectare. So what is contribution per hectare? So I'll always try कि देखो 210 hectares are there. It's a very easy problem. Minimum तो I have to use 160. 50 if I have buffer, First, I'll try to go for rice plus 10. Now I have 40 buffer. Second rate ranking पे कौन है wheat? I'll do this 40 more. हो गया. 210 पे आ गए. So easy. That's what they have chosen. 10 यहाँ करो, 50 यहाँ करो. And then once you get the answer, just mix and you will get the whole answer. Are you getting? These are quality good problems in the Costi Sarthi compiler. Sarthi is your companion till exam. So you should do. All these problems are really good. Selling price, variable cost of the material, commission and all. हाँ, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट में रेंट. अब आपको दे देंगे अगर कमीशन की जगह ये करूं तो. So it's like always you know the formula, and if they twist, what you should do. See, first is what is the break even point. So break even point is nothing but the fixed cost by contribution per unit. तो fixed cost कितना है यहाँ 23 lakhs. Contribution 1000 और 800 200. देखो कितना आ रहा है. 23 lakhs divided 11,500. Check karo, is the answer correct? 11,500 is the break-even point in units. In rupees, it will be fixed cost by PV ratio, और units में आ गया तो multiply by selling price. तो यहाँ तक ठीक है. Now, if the stores manager is paid commission 1% on sales, that is 100, what would be the break-even point? तो अगर ये 100 हो जाएगा तो this will become 850. So contribution will reduce to 150. So 23 lakhs by 150. Break-even point will go up. Commission is up by 10 rupees. Oh, sorry, I took it 10, na? So it will be 810, not 850. I took it 10. Commission will be up by how much percentage? They say 1. So 10. So I added 100. We should add 10. So this will be now 810. If this is 810, it will be 23 lakhs divided by 190. 12,105. Not 5 amounts. समझ में आ रहा है आप सबको? They're just twisting one by one bit and what will be the answer. Now, if the firm decides to pay salary 9 lakhs in lieu of commission, मतलब commission होगा ही नहीं. If commission is not there, the contribution will become 250. And fixed cost, which is 23 lakhs, will increase 23 and 9, 32 lakhs. So, firm ने decide किया, we will not pay the commission. So, obviously, your contribution will be 1,000 by 750, 250. And instead of that, fixed cost will increase. So, what will be the break-even point? 32 lakhs divided by 250. 12,800. 12,800. आ गया? So, like this, one twist. Commission कम कर दो, selling price बढ़ा दो, fixed cost increase कर दो. What's the impact on the profit? If you write the data clearly, you'll be able to do it. Okay? One second, dear students. Yeah. These are the same problems. Just compare which is more and less. So now we have completed all the problems of the PV ratio, the best of the combination problems. Now I'm going to reconciliation, which comes 20% chances, but then it's interesting. And when it comes for 10 marks. So tell me one thing, dear students, why there's a difference in the profit in the marginal costing and the absorption costing. You know how we calculate the profit in marginal costing? देखो यहाँ मैं लिख रही हूँ 1 second. Sale minus the variable cost is contribution, minus the fixed cost is the profit. हो गया. So where is the stock, ma'am? In marginal costing, the closing stock, the opening stock, all these are valued at variable cost. Variable cost. So under the theory of marginal costing, it is presumed that variable costs are related to output and fixed costs are related to period. Hence fixed costs are charged off to P&L. देखो, sale, material ले लो, variable, labor, variable factory overhead, variable cost of production, add opening stock, variable cost per unit, closing stock, variable cost, selling expenses, and all variable cost. In short, the sales, closing stock, opening stock is all taken at variable cost. So you got contribution. Now fixed cost is like sunk cost. Fixed factory overhead, fixed admin, fixed selling, fixed distribution, sub le lo, profit up. Now, if it is absorption costing, if you want right over here, dear students, it's like cost sheet. Material, labor, factory overhead, both fixed and variable. And in absorption costing, factory overhead is absorbed at a predetermined per unit rate. So you will get the cost of the production. Now opening stock, okay, minus closing stock. So when you are valuing the closing stock, you are taking all this cost. In cost of production, you are taking here same material, labor, but only the variable factory overhead. Whereas here, material, labor, total factory overhead, fixed and variable. So obviously your closing stock will be different here. And here fixed cost you have absorbed. So if there is under over absorption, adjust it here. Right? Now add administration and selling expenses, variable and fixed both. Variable and fixed both. You will get the cost of the sales and profit. Now tell me, this profit and this profit, it is differing for what? Don't say under over absorption. वो तो हमने यहीं पे adjust कर लिया. Because here your opening stock is calculated at variable. There it's calculated at variable plus fixed. Same for closing stock. So can we prepare a reconciliation statement and reconcile the profit only because of difference in stock valuation, right? Marginal costing, only variable costs are considered. Here fixed and variable both, right? Here you classify all expense in fixed and variable. Here you classify expense in factory, admin, selling. This is a theory question. Ma'am, you are taking theory in between, तो confuse हो रहा है, तो होने दो, but this is the way you have to study. Every chapter you have to do theory along. In marginal costing, here there are period costs, sunk cost. Here they are charged. Highlight is contribution, highlight is profit. Here opening and closing stock is not affected because it's at variable cost. Here opening and closing stock is valued at total cost. Yeah. Here the cost will change because the fixed and variable both element are there. Here it is at variable level. And now let us reconcile. Over under absorption should not be taken in the reconciliation because we have already adjusted in the cost sheet. Marginal costing, opening and closing stock is valued at variable cost of production. And here, okay. So शुरू करते हैं हम. Okay. Let us do. I am only telling you, you practice 10-12 problems for marginal costing. For this reconciliation, 2 quality good problems I have given practice. It will not come. If it comes, same question will come for sure. 11, 12, dono. Yeah. If you have attended practice batch and solved in writing, this revision video will be very, very helpful to you. Aaja. 4 lakh is the production. Variable cost is 40. Selling is 12. Fixed production and selling are given. Company decides to work at 80%. So 4 lakh 100% at 80%, 320. they have sold 310 units. Opening stock is there, तो closing stock भी होगा. 40 were there, 320 produced. So 360 out of 360, 310 sold. So closing stock will be 50,000. Clear? Ajo. Fixed expenses are absorbed on capacity and fixed selling overhead are recovered on period basis. Now, first, always prepare the marginal costing statement. Okay? It's good for comparison, but you can do marginal also first, or you can do absorption also first. Absorption costing is exactly like your cost sheet. So let us prepare marginal cost statement to get the profit with the mindset that in marginal costing, your opening and closing stock you will take at variable. Let us check. First start with sales value. 310,000 units, particulars, working and amount. We are not in accounts or tax class. We are in costing class. So the working should be in between the main answer, preferably. Least of working notes. Okay. So 310,000 units are sold at what amount? They'll give you the selling price, 80. Okay. Sales minus the variable cost now. So what's the cost? How many units are produced? 320,000 units are produced, and the production cost. Ma'am, what do you mean by production cost? Then this includes your material, labor, variable overhead, all. Production cost, 40. 320 units are produced at 40. Opening stock is 40,000 units at 40. Closing stock 50,000. Did you get how I got it? 40,000 units were there. 320 more produced. So 360. Out of 360, 310 units are sold. So 50,000 closing stock. I'm repeating again. 320 units are produced. Do it in writing from the compiler. 320 units are produced. 40,000 opening is there minus closing. So these are the number of units sold. Ma'am, we could have directly written 310 units at 40. Yeah. That's why in marginal costing, sales minus variable cost contribution minus fixed cost profit. We don't take into consideration the stock because stock is valued at variable cost. So whether you write this or you directly take the number of units sold, it will come same. Okay? Right. Now, sales minus the variable cost, variable selling cost. Also you have to take, which is given at 12 per unit. Yeah. See, this was the variable cost of production. Now variable selling price. So you got contribution. Now all the fixed costs, production cost, selling cost, all the fixed cost, and you get profit. Now let us prepare the cost sheet. First you tell me, is the marginal cost sheet clear? Put me a message. AC, all clear, not clear? Bolo. Many students are working, so you're not able to attend the morning timing. But I'm not able to take it in the evening. So if you're watching as recording still, if you have doubt, you can join the Telegram group or message us on this number. Chalo. Clear? Great. Now aajao absorption costing. 310,000 units are sold, but produced is 320 units at 40. Fixed production cost. कहाँ से मिला fixed production cost? Production cost fixed is 24 lakhs for 4 lakh units, 6 per unit. We are doing 320. So now in the absorption costing, like a cost sheet, we will take variable cost also. We will take fixed cost also. So here you are getting the production cost. Add opening stock. Ma'am, there we have taken opening stock at 40, closing stock at 40, here at 46. मैंने बोला ना फिक्स्ड और वेरिएबल दोनों लेंगे. So you got the total or the GP, you can calculate or total cost of the production. Now always factory overhead will be for number of units produced. Selling overhead will be number of units sold. Under over absorption. Fixed factory overhead is 24 lakhs, whether you work at 100% or 80%. But you have taken it less, 19 lakh 20,000. So if you have under absorbed it, आप profit में से कम कर दो, you are getting this profit. This under absorption, actually you can adjust it up also. Under absorption, you can adjust it up also. And then take the selling overhead also. Did you get one thing? Selling overhead also I've taken variable also. Fixed. Now what's the profit here? 4680. What's the profit here? 4740. The difference in the profit is because of the 6 rupees. There you have valued your stock at 40, here at 46. So if you're starting with marginal costing profit, closing stock 50,000 is valued at 40, but there you are valued at 46. So isko bhi 6 add kar do. Opening stock you have valued at 40, there they are valued at 46. So isko bhi 6 kar do. So if you increase the value of opening stock, the profit will reduce. If you increase the value of closing stock from 40 to 46, the profit will increase. So like this, you will get the answer. It's very easy, provided I am only telling you don't go for much problems. Do the same problem in writing. Sales minus the variable cost minus the fixed cost, you get profit. And here you have the variable and the fixed. So opening stock is taken at the old rate if given, but closing stock to current production में से ही होगा. And under over absorption, you adjust here. Okay, and then reconcile, you will get the answer. I've taken best of the theory, the best of the questions I have discussed, and I've given you a lot of link. What is the break-even point fixed cost by PV ratio? What is margin of safety profit by PV ratio? Margin of safety sales above the break-even point and actual sales. In this gap only you are earning the profit. So hope this video is really helpful to you. Share it with at least 5-6 of your friends in other Telegram WhatsApp group. Help me to reach more students to go fearless for costing exam, and don't leave marginal costing in choice. If you feel you need more practice for reconciliation, जो मैंने अभी last question किया, in the marginal costing, I'm not taking stock. If I'm taking also at 40, here at 46, बस उतना ही difference है. Okay, so take care of this and prepare super duper well. Tomorrow we are going to take up last one shot revision video for standard costing, then activity and contract, the whole class, the one shot, the problem solving, the concept, the theory, everything is already there in the video. I'll add it in this playlist. Once we complete all one shot revision video, use it for repeated watching. I'm again saying for December, there are 3 months. You may be doing DT, IDT whole day. Just listen to one shot of labor once, maybe 1.25 speed, so that you keep in touch with the subject. God bless you all the best, work very hard and be alert. Self-care, self-love, self-acceptance are the key, the base to have a healthy, strong mindset. All the best. Bye all of you. Yeah, we'll take it tomorrow, the semi-variable overhead reconciliation. Tomorrow I'll let you know if I can start at 11 o'clock, surely. Then first we will do one shot revision video of standard costing, followed by the semi-variable overhead. Okay, right. All the best. Do share the DT practice batch poster with more of your friends. See, when you meet teacher every day, you are accountable. Why didn't you attend the class? Did you complete your homework? Click the picture, send it in the group. Every day when you meet teacher, you prepare in a systematic way. खुद से करोगे तो haphazard करोगे. ठीक है? Right. Starting from